I am from How To Taxes, and I'm here to help you prepare your Form 1040-SR when you have Form SSA 1099 income. The scenario of this video is that you are single, you have pension income, tax-exempt interest income, and Social Security income. There is no tax benefit for using Form 1040-SR. It mirrors Form 1040 and you use the instructions for Form 1040. To use the form, you must be born before January 2nd, 1958. At the top of the form, check the box under the filing status section that you are single. Put your name, middle initial, last name, address, and your Social Security number at the top of the form. Make sure to answer the question regarding digital assets, and under the age blindness section, check the box that you were born before January 2nd, 1958. On line 2A, put your tax-exempt interest. You would have received this amount on a Form 1099. In our example, it is $5,000. Since all of the interest is tax-exempt, line 2B will be 0. On line 5A, put your pension income. You can find this information on Form 1099-R in Box 1. On 5B, put the taxable amount, which you can find in Box 2A of the Form 1099-R. In our example, it is $20,000. In Box 7, you can see the distribution code. In our example, it is a 7. This stands for normal distribution. On line 6A, put your Social Security benefits. You can find this in Box 5 of your Form SSA 1099. In our example, it is $15,000. To determine if any of it is taxable, add half of your Social Security income plus all your other income. If it's over $25,000, if you're single, some of your Social Security income will be taxable. In our example, half of your Social Security income is $7,500. Your other income is $25,000. Adding the two together, it would be $32,500. So since it's more than $25,000, some of your Social Security income will be taxable. To determine how much, we will use the Social Security Benefits Worksheet found on page 32 of the Form 1040 instructions. On line 1, enter the amount from Box 5 of your Form SSA 1099. In our example, it is $15,000. Multiply that by 50% to arrive at $7,500 on line 2. On line 3, combine the amounts from the lines shown, which in our example will be $20,000 for line 3. On line 4, put the amount from line 2A of your Form 1040, which is $5,000. Combine lines 2, 3, and 4 to arrive at $32,500 for line 5. Line 6 will be 0, as we don't have any amounts on Schedule 1. On line 7, check the box Yes, as the amount on line 6 is less than the amount on line 5, so line 7 will be $32,500. On line 8, we will enter the amount for a single, which is $25,000. On line 9, we will subtract line 8 from 7, which would be $7,500. On line 10, we will enter $9,000 as we are single. We will subtract line 10 from line 9. Since it is 0 or less, we will enter 0. On line 12, we will enter the smaller of line 9 or 10, which is $7,500. On line 13, we will multiply that by 1/2 to arrive at $3,750. On line 14, we will enter the smaller of line 2 or line 13, which will be $3,750. We will multiply line 11 by 85% for line 15, which will be 0. On line 16, we'll add lines 14 and 15 together to arrive at $3,750. On line 17, we'll multiply line 1 by 85%, which will be $12,750. On line 18, our taxable Social Security benefits will be $3,750, as that is the smaller of line 16 or 17. We will enter that amount on line 6B of your Form 1040-SR. We will add your income amounts up together to arrive at $23,750 for your total income, and we will carry it down to line 11 for your adjusted gross income. On line 12, we will calculate your standard deduction. we are assuming that your standard deduction will be more than your itemized deductions. For the standard deduction, you can refer to the standard deduction chart on page 4 of your Form 1040 SR. Since you are single and the number of boxes you checked was 1 for your filing status, your standard deduction is $14,700. Enter that amount on line 12 and carry it down to line 14. Subtract line 14 from line 11 to arrive at taxable income of $9,050 on line 15. We will calculate your tax using the tax tables that begin on page 63 of the Form 1040 instructions. Since your taxable income is at least $9,050 but less than $9,100 and you are single, your tax will be $908. Place an amount on line 16 and carry it down to line 18, 22, and 24 as you have no other taxes or credits. On line 25B, we will put your federal income tax withholding from your Form 1099. You can find this information in box 4 of your Form 1099-R. In our example, it is $1,000. Carry this amount to line 25D and down to line 33, as withholding is your only payment. In our example, we have an overpayment. Place an amount, which is $92, on line 34. And since you'd want it refunded to you, place an amount on line 35A. If you want it directly deposited into your bank account, put your routing and account information on line 35B and D and check the type of account on line C. If you don't want it directly deposited into your bank account, cross off lines 35B and D and the IRS will send you a check directly. Note that there's a box to the left of line 35A. You would only check this box if you wanted your refund deposited into more than one bank account, so usually this would be left blank. Remember to sign, date, and put your occupation at the bottom of the form. Thank you for watching. I am from How To Taxes. Subscribe for future tax videos.